hold elections by mid-July. But almost 200 people have been arrested over the weekend. It's not clear how far the new Prime Minister can quell the anger on the streets. Nadeem Barber, Al Jazeera.
Joining me live from Washington is Nuruddin Jebnoon. He's a professor at the Center for Contemporary Arab Studies and School of Foreign Service at Georgetown University. Thanks for joining us. What is the significance of the resignation of the Prime Minister?
So the decision taken today, this afternoon, by the temporary president, Mr. Mbazza, to appoint as a prime minister Mr. Baji Qaid al-Sibsi, remind me a kind of Romanian-style restoration of the old guard. Means Mr. Baji Qaid al-Sibsi, he's 85 years old. He served under Bourguiba as his Minister of Interior from 1965 to 1969, then his Minister of Defense from 1969 to 1970, then during the last years of the reign of Bourguiba from 1981 to 1986 as Minister of Foreign Affairs. The problem today is like this leadership in Tunisia continue to appoint this kind of patriarchal leadership without taking into considerations the legitimate demands and requests from the youth and young people who led this revolution. Mr. Baji Qaid al-Sibsi, he's out of touch, he's out of time, he's belonging other generation. What the Tunisian youth need today, who someone will be able to represent them, who someone will be able to respond to their legitimate demands.
Okay, so from what you're saying, it would appear that the resignation of Mohamed Ghannouchi and the appointment of Baji Qaid al-Sibsi is not likely to satisfy those groups who've been out on the streets demonstrating. How do you think then they will respond to this latest turn of events?
I think the Tunisian youth will continue to mobilize. What we need today in Tunisia is to have a revolution watchdog body able to appoint a new government and able to write a new constitution. The major stakes of the new leadership is to write a new constitution able to meet the demands of the Tunisian people. And the most important task is to reform the security apparatuses. Look at what happened yesterday in Tunis. This has showed like the remnants of the RCD and the militia of the party is still active on the ground. They infiltrated the security forces. What we need is to reform those security forces. What we need to also is to postpone like the elections. Holding elections within 5 months is not serious. We must postpone those elections in order to allow to all political forces, organizations, movement and parties to organize, to mobilize and to compete. Otherwise, we will have another RCD relabeled with another name and will entrench and consolidate the current structure of power.
Okay, sir, we're going to have to leave it there. Professor Jebnoon, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.